Addiction, it's everywhere. Well, it better be, because I've written a book based on the idea that everyone is in some form an addict. My idea is that all of us are addicts on the scale somewhere, and the news seems to confirm that. Gambling. The number of problem gamblers in the UK has risen to more than 400,000. 2 million people are addicted to gambling. What do you mean addicted to gambling? It means their lives are being ruined by gambling and they still won't or can't stop. Look at drugs. In America, 142 Americans die each day from drug overdoses. That's a 9/11 every 3 weeks. A 9/11 of drug addicts are dying every 3 weeks. Deaths involving cocaine rose by 16%. And also, look at this, in the UK, 18%, that's 21 million men, think that they are addicted to pornography. 90% of young boys and 6% of young girls have been exposed to pornography before they reach the age of 18. But I think that everyone's on the scale because I've experienced many different levels of the scale. Extreme and obvious chemical dependency, gargantuan sexual addiction and obsession around pornography, problems around food from adolescence, codependent and difficult relationships, being in relationships that are painful and not knowing really what's wrong or why the cycle seems to be repeating itself, to just the everyday problems of thinking I will feel better if I get these admittedly quite cool trainers. And I did feel better. Sometimes I still feel a bit better when I look at them, although they're a bit more clumpy than I'd hoped they'd been, and there's only a few different types of socks you can wear with them. So my point is that it can be quite minor things that take you out of self. Here's a 5-point guide to the cycle of addiction. 1, pain. So you're in pain. Who's not in pain in this crazy world? Pain is everywhere. It's everywhere, and it won't ever end until we address our inner constellation, our inner coordinates, that how we feel within will change us and will change the outer world. So pain. 2, using an addictive agent like alcohol, food, sex, work-dependent relationships to soothe and distract. When you feel pain, what do? Glass of wine, box set, what is it you're doing? You do something. 3, temporary anesthesia or distraction. Numbness. Like, I look at Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, not because it makes me feel better, but because it numbs me out. It numbs me just to stare. I mean, luckily now I'm looking at a brilliant Ted Hughes poem about a fox. It's called The Epiphany. You should probably read that poem. It's absolutely fantastic. So, so social media can do good things, but how often do you look at social media and it makes you feel worse than you felt before you bloody started it? 4, consequences. Like, severe addiction has obvious consequences. If you are a drug addict, you are a criminal and you'll probably at some point get into some trouble. If you're an alcoholic and you're drinking all the time, it's going to affect your work, it's going to affect your relationships, you may end up getting busted in some capacity for that. If you're in bad relationships, you're never experiencing the truth of who you are. What this book tells you is what I've learned, that there is an essential you that is trying to realise itself, and you're not realising it because you're being distracted by the external coordinates of a world that wants you to be a consumer, a civilized being, instead of a connected spiritual force. 5, shame, guilt, leading to pain or low self-esteem, and the cycle begins again. Because really it's a program. If it's not, we don't choose in life between having a program and not having a program. You choose between having a conscious program or the unconscious program that you've been saddled with from your school, your family, and the culture that you live in. You've been programmed. You've been programmed to be a consumer, or you've been programmed to be an addict. This program is a way out of that program and a way of becoming who it is you want to be, who it is you're supposed to be. The first step is 1, you've got a problem. Second step is, it's possible to change. The third step is, I'll need help in order to change. That help could be some kind of faith or belief, or it could be the support of a community or another group. Certainly though, all of those things point to change. Check it. Ideally, the first 3 steps can be worked in the time it takes to nod your head 3 times. I have a problem, yes. I see it could improve, yes. I see that I will need help, yes. And I will accept that help, yes. When someone is in that frame of mind, they have a chance. This is the state you need to achieve to recover. So when I talk about recovery, I don't just mean recovery from severe addictions. I mean recovery from the problem of having been hypnotized into the belief that the material world and temporary circumstance can solve the spiritual and perennial problem of being a mortal being, trapped in this world momentarily, trying to suck nutrition and nourishment out of bogus and erroneous systems. I'll tell you how this applies to me, and you can mentally keep track with its application to your problem, right? Think of a problem you want to change. Is it relationships? Is it the food you eat? Is it not exercising? Is it you don't enjoy your job? Or are you in fact a smackhead? Are you happy in your marriage? Are you happy in your life? Are you happy in your work? Or do you think, I've gone off key? And you've been taught, no, you're meant to be unhappy. That's just life. Life's a struggle. Some sort of Protestant idea, some sort of monotheistic head hammer that tells you you're not worthy of being happy and connected. Well, you are. For me, this is a simple, accessible way to unfuck yourself from the modern world that's tied you to addiction. Every day you see, another celebrity's died because of drugs, there's another person in the paper from a drink driving thing, all the time, continually. Gambling out of control, drugs out of control, alcohol out of control, food, obesity rates at new levels, children eating too much bloody sugar, 3.4 million deaths globally, pornography, all of us spellbound to digital ghosts of dead conjugal tangles that we strum ourselves stupidly, trying to make ourselves happy, trying to hit upon a happy tune. What I'm telling you, in this book there is possibly not the answer, but there is an answer. I want you to have a look at this book and tell me what you think, because I think that consumerism, materialism, individualism, capitalism tie us to an external world, and there is a way out of it. If we can solve the problem in ourselves, then I think we can change the world. As dear old Schindler said, he that saves one life saves the world entire. Start by saving your own life, then we can make a difference. Thank you very much. That's some true news, and let's face it, some promotional material.